Hi, I'm Kelly at Book and Paper Arts, and I don't know about you, but I have had a rocky start to this new year. And you know what's good for that? Some vintage book and paper eye candy. So join me today for a look at what's new in the studio. If you like vintage paper, altered books, journal arts, please sign up for my YouTube channel and turn on the notifications. You will have more of them in your life. Now let's go look at the good stuff. This folio is from 1765. It says Economie Rustique, and it seems to be a kind of an illustrated guide to farming or rural life. If you want some context, 1765 would have been about 30 years before the French Revolution. So maybe that's when they still had happy peasants. I'm not sure. The first page is beekeeping. And I just love these engravings of old-timey bee apparatus stuff. This page is silk farming. I did not know that French farmers made their own silk. But there you go. Here's a cross-section of a silo. Here's where they made butter and I'm assuming cheese. That young lady is churning. And then the next pages are about hatching eggs to raise chickens. I'm going to try to make scans of these. Now, my scanner is not this big. So what I'm going to do is see if I can get these bottom parts, the sexier parts of the engravings. They will then be in this coming Sunday's online newsletter. They'll be free. So if you'd like that, you can join me. There's a link in the text below this video. If this is coming to you from the future, please drop me a line. I'll get you the link. I deal in old books for a living, and this is the first time I've ever seen anything like this. It is from the 1870s, and it is a photograph album with green wooden boards for covers. But instead of photographs, someone has put holy cards inside. And these holy cards were originally black and white, but whoever made this book painted these cards by hand. All of this color is hand painted. This even has some gilt here. On the other page, reflecting page, are Bible verses. This is about the Son of Man, and I suppose that's what all of these refer to. Titles and names of our Lord. Christian joy. That's lovely. And then finally, I just love how after all that, this time, that red just still really pops. And a little bit of gilt here. Another religious piece that I have is this pin. It seems to be a thing. Someone wrote me and told me that they knew what these were, that when they were children, their grandmother would pin these medals like this to the inside of their jackets to keep them safe. And so this one has two sides. But it's really this medal that's exquisite. It's of Saint Bernadette of Lourdes. And it's a slider. It's a slide medallion because it does this. It opens up, and then inside is a relic of Saint Bernadette. It has two baby sliders. They are of roses, which were the symbol of the beautiful lady that Bernadette saw. And inside is the tiniest carving of the grotto you can imagine. And that slides closed. And then this one slides open. Whoops, does it? Yes, there it goes. And inside is the church at Lourdes and St. Bernadette. I just think this is so cool. It's a relic on a pin that slides. I also have this beautiful, beautiful rosary. This is from the 19 teens. And it's got hand-cut, amethyst-colored beads. A lot of detail there. But really what makes this one unusual for me is that it actually has a bracelet. Now, these are called a dizaine. It's got 10 because it has 10 beads. So it's just one set of beads, 10 beads. And it has a medal. It says it's a souvenir of Lourdes. And I actually collect these dizaine bracelets, so you don't find them often. This is a handwritten Japanese book from the 1860s. If I'm holding it upside down, I apologize. I never know which way to orient these for a flip through. Look at this binding. It has a stab binding, and the thread itself is actually made of paper. It is handwritten with ink on washi paper. It's a kind of a rice paper. And it's got quite a few wormholes there. You can see where it's been nibbled. So if you ever wondered where the term bookworm comes from, it's because if a paper was made with organic materials, sometimes the worms would just treat it like their own buffet. There is some, I don't know if these are corrections or just marginalia, but there's also some notations made in red ink. If you know, please let me know in the comments and we can all look there and be a little bit smarter. This one I'm keeping whole, intact, but I do have some pages here from, this one's actually from the 19 teens. It's a little newer, but you can see that this washi paper is actually folded over. And if you took a piece out of the book, it's extremely thin if it's not doubled over. And if you glue this down onto a piece, it goes almost translucent and you can see whatever is underneath. So I really like using this in projects. Some of the pieces that we've looked at today are mine. They are part of the permanent Kelly Bowler collection. But some of the other pieces are for sale. So if you're curious, there's more about that in the text below this video, or drop me a line. Last up today, I want to show some tintypes. These are from the 1860s, and back then photography was so new that nobody had decided, hey, we're going to put these on card and paper as they would for the next 100 years. So these are actually printed on a piece of tin. Back then, getting your picture taken was a big deal. So you always wore your Sunday best. One of the reasons that they usually have stern expressions is because back then the aperture was kept open for so long that it was very hard to hold a natural looking smile. But actually, these people were probably not dour at all. They were probably hoots. I mean, look at this lady's hat. She was definitely a hoot. If you like tintypes, I have some downloadable scans in my shop, and you can check those out if you want. Please join me Friday. I have a new art tutorial for those of you who feel awkward about your drawing ability in your journals. It's going to be how to make good pages out of bad drawings. Until then, happy making.